Craig here, Diggs Rod Shop, and it is Friday, and we're going to do a shop tour. So follow me inside the shop here. Welcome to Diggs Rod Shop. We got all our memorabilia over there on the shelf right there. When you first come in, you need a t-shirt, you need a hat, give us a call here. But we'll just do a little brief coming in here. This is where Isolina works, and if you guys call into the shop, this is Isolina's desk. This is who she calls. You can take a little sneak peek into my office right there. And this is kind of where Lucas hangs out here. We do all the videos in here. We do all the editing, or he does it. I'm saying we, but he does all the editing in there. So that's where he kind of hangs out. Here's kind of that table. You know, when you get on our website, you'll find that we've got nut and bolt kits for these beds on these 3100s. And that's kind of where I put all that together right there. So nice little controlled atmosphere here at Diggs Rod Shop. This is our little bit of our break area too. And yeah, this is where the office is right here. We got a little kitchenette back here, so if we want to cook, we can, and coffee and things like that. So follow me down into the shop. We're going to do a tour today. So today we're just going to do a little bit of an update. This is that 1948 5-window Chevrolet pickup, and this is the Art Morrison chassis. You guys seen it in other videos. However, again, I'll reiterate, that is that 427 stroked LS engine with a supercharger on it, 841 dyno horsepower coming right out of Nebraska from Blueprint Engines. And that is backed up with that Gearstar transmission. So here's just a little bit of a video. We're progressing on it, more so on the truck cab than the chassis right now, but we're about ready to marriage this thing back together for some more work. But anyway, check it out. There's the engine. Transmission's all hooked up. Exhaust is all ran on this thing. You can see the Diggs Rod Shop 54 Suburban in the background right there. Again, you guys will recognize that when we go to the shows. So over here off to my right, which would be your left, I sold the Bradley GT. So the gentleman that bought that, he's kind of a whiz when it comes to electronics and batteries. He's going to keep it all electric. So that's that electric Bradley GT. So it's going to be leaving the shop here in a couple days. But I know. I said I was going to put a Harley V-twin in it. I have the Harley V-twin for it too. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that, that engine and that bike now. But he came and said, hey, I'd like to buy that for a project. And it's kind of cool because he's going to keep it electric, and he's going to go with lithium ion. He's got some other good ideas with it too, because I've always thought if you can put some kind of solar or some kind of generating power on an electric automobile, even a small generator to replenish a battery while you're using the other one. I don't know why the industry doesn't do that, but I think that's what he's going to do on this car here. So it'll really be cool. And we'll kind of give you an update because he doesn't live too far from here. And I'll do some update videos because I'm going to help him get the windshield, things like that, put down in it. But that project's going to be leaving here soon. So right behind me though, 68 Charger RT. Check this baby out. It's a little dusty and a little dirty because the guy drives this car, and that is a hell crate. I know that thing's pushing out over 600, almost 700 horsepower. We did this one this last year, and it belongs to a gentleman here in town. His dad had done all the body work and the paint on that years ago. I believe it either had a 318 or a 383 in it, and he opted for that hell crate, and that's literally a 2024 Hellcat engine, supercharged, automatic 8-speed, and let me tell you what, this thing pulls like a mad banshee, let me tell you. And it's back in here for a little bit of tuning, and we put electric windows back into the car. There has to be some adjustments on it, on the windows, and I think it's just because this thing grabs so much, it just loosens everything up. But anyway, little maintenance for the winter on it, and it'll go back to him in the spring and ready to go back. It's going to get dynoed again and some tuning on it. I can tell you we had put a different gas tank in it, set up with a different fuel pump because the one that was recommended for it wasn't enough to feed this beast, I can tell you that. And I believe we have that all corrected at this point, and just one of those little things you learn on the way. But that's all done. I know Cassidy had started that thing yesterday, made sure everything was functioning. It's going to have to go back to the dyno and be retuned to make sure that it has everything, all the fuel that it's going to get. So There's our 68 Charger RT project with a hell crate in it right there. Thumbs up to Cassidy. I know he and Al worked pretty hard on that, and thing just runs like a scalded dog. Let's head on in here. Let me show you something else that we did a little video on this last week, and I'm going to elaborate on it today. So come on in here. We got a little video of Cassidy working on the plasma table there. It's computer operated. You can make a drawing. I think he was working on air conditioning bracketry in the truck, and I think it's in there now, so I can show you that too. But the big thing that I want to show you today is when we get to that 48 today, to show you what we've done to the underdash, how we get our controls in there, how we get our AC vents in there, and what we do to make it look like it looks. So I will tell you right here, this blank is one of those underdash pieces that we make for the AD trucks. This is, you know, cut to length. It's got the angle and everything on it to fit. However, most guys don't want to have to cut the bottom of the dash out. And if you guys that are watching this, you'll know what I'm talking about. This thing only fits the dash if it's flat all the way across the bottom, which you can bolt it up. You can see right there, it's got that flange on it that you can bolt it up. The problem is on an AD truck, 47 to 53, 54, 55 even, it's got that drop down in the dash, and I'll show you over there. Well, you have to cut that out, weld a piece back in, then you can put our dash in there. Well, you know, this is a $200 item right here, and if your dash is already done and it's already painted, you know, you're not going to put this, you're not going to cut your dash out. I wouldn't either. However, I'll show you again what we've done in there. Here's what it looks like in the raw with the vents. We've built 3 trucks this way. It's got the AC controls right here. That's Gen 2 from Vintage Air, and it's already got the round vents in it. So that's kind of what it looks like in the raw. So what Cassidy did the other day, let me show you here. You can look up underneath there, and we did that video of him doing the bear claw lock in here, but that is the underdash. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut that out, this notch right here, for you guys that have already got your dash finished and painted, and even, you know, personally, this is a better look, I think, than cutting that off and welding that in and then bringing this out here. I will tell you, I think this looks awesome. I've seen some other guys already make some comments on, Cassidy had made some post about it, and they showed some of their pictures of what they've been doing too. And thumbs up to those guys, they look really good. We happen to, this is one of those products that we actually offer. We've sold a few. We sell more to the C10 guys because their dash is flat. And I will tell you, we do this for the C10s also, and that's already cut to fit. It's already got the vent holes in it. You can put your controls in it however you want it, but the C10 is literally a bolt-in deal, no matter whether it's painted or not. You don't have to do any cutting. But this AD, you got to cut that out to make that one work. And so instead of that, we're going to modify that for you guys so it literally can slip up underneath a painted dash. We'll have a seal that we send with it, and you can just bolt it in. 16 gauge cold roll steel. It's going to hold the world anyway, and it'll look really nice. So there it is. That's the 48.5 window. That's the project that we're working on right now. And again, you can check that body line out right there. Cassidy has been working on that, and you know, on the other side, it's got the billet aluminum from LS Fab handles, but that gap's coming along right there. So anyway, let's move on to the 53 Cadillac. So the 53 Cadillac limousine. Again, this is kind of one of those inherited projects that we got here. Not a year ago, but it was last spring, and a good friend, won't mention his name, but had called and said, hey, would you guys be willing to take this project on? And said, yes, absolutely. Not only do I want to do it for him, but I want to do it for the gentleman that this car belongs to, and I won't go into a long drawn out of who that is, not today, but when we get this thing finished, we'll let you know who's this actually belongs to, and the family that it belongs to. The gentleman that we got this from, who asked us to do it, he'd already had the LS, the 4L80E purchase for it. He had already had this chassis purchase for it. This chassis has been under this car, like I said in the other video with the laser cleaner, for about 8 years or so, ballpark figure, and a lot of the components have already been done. And, you know, it's got that surface rust on that. And we did that laser cleaning on that other side. I'm going to tell you right now, with that laser cleaning machine, I'm going to laser clean this whole chassis, and I'll do a video on that. It'll be a time-lapse video, but I'll also let you know how long it took me to do all that metal work that has rust on it and flash rust on it to get it ready for the body and paint area. So anyway, this is the 53 Cadillac. This thing's got a custom chassis. It's got Willwood brakes. It's got an LS. It's going to have power steering. It's got dual AC systems in it. I mean, there's only one of these out there, I can tell you that, that's got all this done on it. As far as I know, I'll tell you, it's really not only a cool custom, but it's going to be about a one-off. So, you know, even up here you can see we've had the SPW, Specialty Power Windows Company, has also, they have the windshield wiper motor mechanisms, and that's what we've installed in this one here. And it has to be special because it comes through the trim and it comes through the glass, and which is, again, one of those difficulties that you find when you're working on some of these cars. You don't know this going into it, but you find it out, you know. And so that's SPW Power Windows. Come on back here. Did a video with JJ, one of our fabricators, working on this body line right here. He just set the door back up on there. I know he's got a little more work to do to this door, but the video that I had done, he was trying to open that gap up just a little bit. I know he's going to close it down just a little bit through here because this is right at what we want. That's what we're looking for, about 3/16 of an inch. One of the things I want to show you on the inside, if you bring the camera around here, you can even see this gap right here. It's looking pretty good. We've already got the quarter panels done on this, but this particular car from the factory would have been 4-window hydraulic power windows is what it would have had. And the hydraulics in it are just, you know, well, they're gone, number one. Number two, they were failed, and most of the time they were going to fail anyway. With all the customization that's been done on this car already, what do you do about that? You still want power windows, and we again use specialty power windows when it comes to a custom like this because they have such a nice universal kit. It just works great. I don't know, I've installed 20 or 30 of those over my career anyway, but you can kind of come on in here with the camera and you can kind of see how all this goes in. We'll end up welding all this in when it comes time instead of bolting this, but you can see how he's got everything in here. And yeah, it's just a really, really nice setup. And so you can see there's the dual wiper motor from SPW also right there. So anyway, so there we go. One of the big features on this car too, check this out right here. I just about passed this up. I didn't want to do that. This has a Continental kit for it too. And this is a Continental kit for a 53 Cadillac. However, a lot of customization has to be done because when the kit comes, it just doesn't bolt up. There's no doubt about it. And when we got this kit, we didn't have all the mechanisms for it. But working again with the gentleman that had given this project to us, put us in contact where that was all purchased, and we got a hold of that company, which is a Canadian company, and they're now sending us the rest of the parts for this kit. So that ought to be here by the first of the year, I would say, and we'll finish that. But this is going to get a full Continental kit. It's going to have that bumper back here. It's going to have the spare tire on it and everything. So by the way, this car is going to be black, and so when we're done with it, I mean, laser straight and glossy black, this thing ought to be just a really, really cool car. Let's move on into the other room. So welcome to, this is the assembly, disassembly area. This is also the body, the paint area, and this is kind of where we do all that work in here. So come on, let me show you a project that we have been working on. 1963 Avanti, made by Studebaker. This one happens to be the 289 cubic inch. It's got a supercharger on it. That's really cool. Some of these parts and pieces we've had replaced. I believe that it's also a George Hurst 4-speed car. As a matter of fact, I know it is. And you know, back in the day, it wasn't uncommon to see, you know, George Hurst, Carroll Shelby, you know, a lot of those Dan Gurney, popular race car drivers out on the circuit that actually owned dealerships. They would take a certain amount of cars and they would do their touches to it, kind of like the Yenko Camaro. You know, they would make a Yenko Camaro out of from the dealership. And again, Studebaker Avanti, that's what happened here too. So it's supercharged, and it's got a 4-speed in it. You guys can see it. This is an all fiberglass car. We've taken the body off. We've redone the whole underneath of this car, fixed anything that needed repaired. It's all rebuilt on the front end also, and the rear suspension's been rebuilt. We've set the car back down. We went ahead and painted the inside here, the firewall, so it's the red color that it's going to be. And we thought that's as far as we were going to go with this particular car. And then now the owner of the automobile would like us to go ahead and finish the body and the interior too. So we're going to do that, and we just kind of had to back up just a little bit. This thing's just about ready to fire up, I think, here by the first of the year again. Shane's been working on this one here, and it will get fired up here. We'll get to hear this thing run, and then it's going to go over to the body area, and then it's going to get painted. So with that said, let's walk around this car just a little bit. The story on the car belonged to two brothers, and again, it's one of those situations where it's been in the family for so long, and they want to get it finished. But time slips away, and one of the brothers has passed away, and now the other brother wants to get this car done. And my kudos to him for doing that too, because it helps preserve memory at the same time. So this thing ought to be ready to go by spring. Doesn't look like it right now, but we move pretty good here at Diggs Rod Shop. I will also do here next week, I'm going to do another walk through the shop, and I'm going to interview each and every person that works for us here at Diggs Rod Shop. You guys have already met Cassidy. He's always at the shows with me. Scott Van Haften is our project manager. Sometimes you see him, sometimes you don't. But then JJ, of course, who is a fabricator. You guys have seen him a little bit. Shane works right here in an assembly, disassembly area, and he takes care of a lot of the maintenance, you know, especially come springtime. The cars need the air conditionings charged on them, or there's, you know, whatever problem it is. That's kind of what Shane does. We're getting ready, and we'll spin around to the back here, but we're getting ready to put another hoist in here because we've hired another gentleman. I can't give his name yet, but he starts on the 5th of January. We'll do an interview with him. And then in the back is old Brad, who has come a long way with the body and the paint and just doing a great job back there too. So we'll let you guys know who each and every one of those folks are. And again, Iselina, that works up in the front office, we'll let her in here too. So with that said, you guys seen us do the unveiling of that 383 stroker blueprint engine right there. It goes in this black 75 Chevelle. And he didn't want to get too fancy with it, but he did want to clean some things up and make it a little bit nicer. So we've painted the inner fender wells and some of the framework right here. But that's going to get married to that transmission that he has in it, stock transmission. It's a 350 turbo, but there's that 383, and this is the engine, or the car that engine is going to go down in. So 1975 Chevelle, well preserved. I believe it's got 40,000 or so original miles on it. Gentleman's had this for a lot of years, and this is the original engine that's coming out of it, and he wanted to upgrade, and it's time for an upgrade. So it's going to get that stroker, that 383. Excellent engine. We've done about 4 or 5 of those, and you know, just happy with the power and the performance and the way they sound. You get good exhaust on that thing, and it's got a nice thumpy cam to it. So, well, follow me this way. Here's a car that has been sitting and collecting a little bit of dust back here. I will tell you, 1955 Chevrolet 210, 2-door. It was originally blue with the white, and I can't remember if they call that sky blue, and then white ivory, or I can't remember. Anyway, blue and white. With that said, years ago it was painted all black. They took it apart, painted it black. I tell you all that to tell you this, that the gentleman that owned this and the family that owned it, he has now passed away. And I'm very thankful that they had given us a call. We had worked on this car years ago to get it running and driving for him. And there was just a few, you know, brake issues, fuel issues, cooling issues, and we took care of that. And with that said, you know, time passes, and the family, they weren't going to keep the car. And so they asked us to get it running for them again. And instead of doing that, I asked them, you know, why they wanted to get it running. They were going to sell it. That's what the deal was. So we settled on a price, and it sits here now in Diggs Rod Shop, 1955 Chevrolet. And this thing, I think, has the original 25,000 miles on the odometer. The underside of this car is just perfect. The fenders and everything, I don't believe have ever been patched. It was sanded down and repainted, and it's the original 6-cylinder. It's a 3-speed stick shift car with overdrive in it. The overdrive works great. I've had it out on the highway, and you know, I did a video here a while back. I'm not sure if I put it on YouTube, but I know I put it on Facebook, of Terry and I driving, my wife and I. She was actually driving the car. What a fun car to drive. And it just runs and drives so good, and so I'm glad to have it. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, meaning am I going to leave it completely all stock like it is? Chances are pretty good that that's the way this is going to remain. Don't fix it if it isn't broke, I guess is what I would tell you. So anyway, beautiful little Chevrolet right there, 55. Coming past here, this is that 1970 Torino. And, you know, you've seen the video of us taking it over to the blaster. This is what it looks like when it comes back to those guys out there that would say, hey, you need to get something on that before, you know, you get any flash rust. Just remember, we've got that laser cleaner. Before I ever put any epoxy on something like this, it could sit in here for months and months and months, and I never put any epoxy on it. When I get ready to do all the metal work on this, again, thus the guy that, or the gentleman that we've hired in to come in, we need more help. There's no doubt about that. So, because we have the lineup of work out there, I mean, literally almost 2 years out. And so this is a particular project that we would like to get on. No hurries, I will tell you, but we don't like to spend more than 1 year on a full restoration, from doing all the fab work, engine, transmission, and all that's been sent out to be done. The engine's being rebuilt right now, the transmission's being rebuilt, the rear end's being rebuilt, and it'll all come together here in the spring. But what I'm telling you is, before we even put any epoxy on that, all the metal work will be done first. Once that's done, it'll go over, it'll get lasered completely. It'll remove any residual flash rust on it, and then we'll hit it with, you know, 80 grit like we always do, and then it's going to get some epoxy. Then we'll start the bodywork process. So that's that 1970 Torino. There she sits. Right next to it is something that Scott is working on. Come in close here. That 1953 Cadillac that we were just looking at right there, those back windows, Fleetwood is the company that actually made the limousines, and that's a Fleetwood Cadillac is what that, or a Fleetwood limousine by Fleetwood. Anyway, in the back end of that are these garnish moldings, and this is wood, and I'm not quite sure what the wood is. You guys would probably know. I don't know. It's got a beautiful grain to it. But they were painted black over the years. I'm betting they were probably wood grain from the factory. We got these things, they were in a box of pieces, I can tell you that. And so what Scott has done is he's went through with the Gorilla Glue, he has put everything back together, and he's also then coated it with fiberglass resin to bring it all back together and get the rigidity, and it's I mean, it's super strong now. You can see it's kind of dripping off, but not a big deal. He'll sand all that. This is going to be painted black again, and that's what we've decided to do with that. You can see it was black, and the owner of the car would have known it to be black, and you can see how Scott's working on it right now. He'll strip these all down. Yeah, he'll cover those with a fiberglass resin, seal it all up, and then we can bring all these pieces back to original when we get ready to do the upholstery. So that's something we can do here in the shop. That's the 53 Cadillac that we bought for all the parts on that particular Cadillac. Sometimes we have to do that. The Cadillac that came to us, the limousine, there was such a, how do I say that, disruption in all the metal work before it came here. It was just better for us to start with something that was better. And I hate to say it, but this particular car only had 46,000 original miles on it when we started on that. Now, why would we take a car apart like that? Well, This day and age, they don't make reproduction parts for these Cadillacs. You have to go out and search and find them. That's what you have to do. So if we needed a front end, we were going to have to buy a whole car. Besides that, there's several parts on this car that we didn't have for that one, like some of the chrome, the handles and things that needed to be sent out to be chromed. We didn't even have them for that car. So this one here had it. Hate to say it, but it's a donor. And but I will tell you, in the future, that little V8 Cadillac engine purrs like a kitten. It's got a rebuilt transmission behind it. I'm going to probably put that in some kind of coupe. We'll see. All right. Here's a car that's undercover. It's a 1955 Chevrolet. That we're going to get at here pretty soon. Came from another shop. They had finished everything that they were going to do to the car. And at this point, we're going to finalize everything before it's all said and done and give this one back to the family. So anyway, it's undercover right now. Here, I'll tell you, it's original red and cream right there. Beautiful little car. And the guys that the shop that we picked it up from had done a great job. They did some paint work underneath the in the firewall area. And again, they put a 383 stroker from Blueprint in it too. So great choice on engine. And this thing ought to be a pretty cool car when it's all said and done. And literally, they've done the hard work for us. So we'll finish it up and we'll take some pictures, send it back to them, and we appreciate what they've done to it also. So coming over here, this is kind of the staging area. There's some of those Torino parts right there, a little bit of dust on them, but Cadillac parts right there. We are going to make this area, we're going to change this area just a little bit because the new lift is actually going to go right there. And so I'm going to need this area. So I've got to do something different. I know I'm going to put a curtain here to kind of block this area off from all the bodywork dust that comes through the shop. You can kind of see it on some of this stuff. We're going to put a curtain right here, but this is the body area of our shop. You guys, you can come on back here. So here's the hood to that Cadillac, which Brad has this. Looks to me like he has it back in 2K. It's already been epoxied. It'd been blasted and lasered, epoxied. He did his body work to it, and he's now in the 2K process right here. So he'll block that down, and again, it'll get a coat of sealer, and then it'll get a coat of paint is what it's going to get. So he's working on one of the fenders over there. And there's the Avanti hood right there. And several of the parts for this particular car, we've actually put the quarter panels back on it to fit those doors, and that's what JJ's working on right now. So come on in over here. Come on in. That's a word, isn't it? Right there. GFS paint booth right here. I will, let's see if I can turn this on for you. There's our paint booth right there. And this is where all the priming and painting and clearing and everything gets done in there. Great paint booth too, climate controlled. And I just really like this. This was added on about 4 or 5 years ago now, and what a great piece of equipment right there. Sneaking into here, you can see that we use PPG, Deltron, and it's just a great product. There's a lot of great products out there. I know some of the videos that I watch, and you know, there's guys using Sherwin-Williams products, great products, Nason, something that DuPont puts out. I know guys use that too. There's a little bit of Omni product, which is a PPG product. We use some of those, not a lot of them, but when it comes to, you know, the base coats, the clear coats, it's going to be this Deltron, this PPG product for us. So Glamour Clear is what we use to put over it. Again, another great product. So anyway, moving out of here. That's the shop tour for the week right there, guys. And I'm Craig with Diggs Rod Shop. We'll try to continue to do these shop tours as the projects progress and give you a little bit of an update. We'll do them individually also with the technician that's working on them. But for today, that's a shop tour. It's Friday, it's quiet, nobody's here, and it's just kind of nice to go through and give you guys an idea of what we've got going on here in the shop. Until then, make sure you guys like and subscribe on our channel. We appreciate that. And check us out on Facebook and definitely YouTube. Until then, this is Craig. I'm out of here.